Last time on the Just Create SMP, I built a giant central station at spawn, but there's a problem. We currently have nowhere to go. The episode before last, we built that train over there, the giant construction tunnel train, or Drillbut, as he's now affectionately known, which will carve a path for us through this giant mountain and link up our future base area with where we are now. But to run that train, I need tuff. Lots and lots of tuff. So with the amount of tuff I need in mind, I've actually just got off of a live stream where we did lots and lots of digging for an hour or so to get some tuff, and then we designed a tuff factory, or at least the process that we would need to be able to get it, thanks to a recipe added to the pack by Stamo's Tweaks. And if you missed that stream, by the way, you can catch the VOD on my second channel. What? He has a second channel? Oh my god. So do go check that out if you're interested, and keep an eye on Twitch for future live streams as well. We're going to be doing more and more of those. But the factory we designed in Creative, it's a giant mess. We've worked out the processes that we need to do, but it doesn't look good and we need to make it look nice. Jeez.
Where's my power, Beardy?
Ooh.
Are you running away from the problem right now?
Yep.
Beardy, this was supposed to be installed a week ago.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, I just trains, okay? Trains, train stations, trainy things. It's distracting.
It is distracting. Trains are pretty fun. I won't lie. What is this?
Oh, yeah.
Is this our train station?
Yeah, by the way, yeah, welcome to the train station. Look at this place. Grand Central Station. It exists.
This is sick. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could forgive you for not putting the power in if this is what you've been doing, because this is pretty cool.
Well, exactly. This is entirely what I've been doing and why you don't have power. But I'll tell you what, I will sort out that power for you right now. How's that? I mean, I've just said I was going to do lots of other stuff, but I'm sure people won't mind. You don't mind, do you? But yeah,
no, they won't mind.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get the power sorted.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to need power over there when I build the sugarcane factory, so...
Exactly. You're going to need it over there when you build the factories there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what. I will get on that power right now. Would it be worth... I think the chains work now, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the chains work. I've had them over here to the train station. It's been working absolutely fine. So, should I, like, just make my way over to your... train tracks somewhere, just go around the back for now and then follow your train track?
Yeah, I mean, we can sort out the final connection bit later, but if you just, I mean, I think following the train tracks would make most sense.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And then once we've actually got, like, a tunnel going through here, I'll route the power down that way and follow your train line further. But for now,
exactly.
I'll just...
That sounds like a smart idea.
I'll just cut through... What is that? You see the size of that windmill?
Oh, well, no, I haven't actually... Why is that so tall?
That's Throwlash. That is Throwlash making a statement about not using my power. That's what that is. Cool. So what I'll do is I'll run the power lines through the middle of Throwlash's base for now, and then
yeah, that sounds smart actually. I like that idea.
And then I'll follow your train track all the way to the village. Yeah, it's gonna take. I'm gonna have to build so many of these pylons.
It's gonna get time consuming, but you have fun with that. I saw a stray piece of track over here, and I have a problem on my own. So
okay. Well, there goes my model. What do you mean a stray piece of track?
I built, you know, the 3,000 block train track I built?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a single straight bit along the entire way. Like, there's not...
Oh, so you can't build trains?
No.
But well, lucky for you, there's a giant, like, yard
exactly,
over there
that's
with
what
lots of lines. Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, you enjoy.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Bye. So before we can even think about going to our industrial island and building a tuff factory, we better get Stam's power sorted. And I reckon if we use a blueprint of those towers over there, we get ourselves like a cannon, some gunpowder, and I mean, I was going to make a little contraption that we can just plonk down and then use that. But to be honest, it's probably going to be quicker just to dump all the resources we need into a shulker box, dump that down next to a cannon, and use the schematics that way. So we're going to need levers. Gonna need industrial iron and weathered iron. Gonna need girders and walls and chain conveyors. In fact, we're probably gonna need a few more of those. Gonna need lightning rods. Gonna need chutes. We're going to need chains as well, but we don't actually need those in this box here. What else do we need? I think that's everything, isn't it? Although I should probably make myself a bunch more chains and chain drives. Although, has Chosen sell those things yet? I'm sure he had a table for them. Let's go check. Because if we can buy them, that's going to make my life a whole lot easier. No, they still don't have a price. Chains do, though. We're going to need a whole load of them, so let's just buy tons of them. Probably going to need some more girders as well, so let's get those. But I reckon that'll just about do it. I guess we're going to have to make our own chain conveyors, though. That's what I meant, not chain drives. There we go. Loads of them. Okay. Now, I'm also going to need some gunpowder and some schematic things. So we're going to want that, we're going to want that, that, and that. And as we're going to be out in the wilderness, I should probably take a bed with me as well. So let's study the map briefly here. What we want to do is get power from, I think the closest point is this one here. And we need to get that over to the railway track and then all the way over to here, I believe. Is that the village? Yeah, that looks like the village. So if I just go around the back here of this village, go right through the middle of Throwlash's base, I'm sure he won't mind, and then we'll just sort of set off across this way maybe, connect up with the rail and follow it down. The terrain itself might change my plans, but for now, that seems fairly reasonable. So if we were to put the first one around here somewhere, give Stam's tree a bit of clearance. But I think that should work nicely. What we'll do is just set up the cannon over here. Put that in. We've already got the gunpowder in. Let's get that built. Look at that. That was well quick. And we're not missing any blocks. This is good. Now I can connect that up. On with the next one, which, to be honest, I think is going to end up having to be probably just around here on the edge somewhere, and then we can stretch one across over that way. I think by default, the chains have a range of 32. I think ours are set to 64, so I can go a little bit further, which is nice. Well, it's only been about 15 minutes, but we're already making good progress. We've got the power lines going all the way over this way. They go through the village, over Throwlash's base. I'm sure he won't mind. He's probably going to mind, but we'll move him later. And then we've continued the lines all the way down this way, followed the track round, and we're about here at the moment, which if we look on the map is probably over halfway. We've just got to follow this track all the way round. So I'll bring you back in once we've got these done. Going quite well so far. And most importantly, the power's still working. Progress is being made. We've now completed the route all the way over to Stam's village. And what I want to do now is go under the ground and under the river, because I don't really know what Stam's planning on building over here. It looks like there's a bit of another platform. I don't know if there's other builds going on this area. So I don't want to run the cables right the way through. Only to have to move them again. So we're going to go down, we're going to go under, and then we're going to come up in that building there, because that's where he wants his little exchange thing, which is going to sit in this wall here, which means there's a whole bunch of stuff I need to go get to be able to build it. But we've done this a few times already, so we should be done in no time whatsoever. Yep, can confirm that was very straightforward. We just used the same thing that we normally use. I just had to adjust where the outputs were, but that's worked lovely. And now Stam has power over here. I've also loaded him up with some tokens as well, just to get him started, but this means that we can now go crack on with what we're actually supposed to be doing, which is going to involve us flying to where our industrial area is going to be, which is about here somewhere, off to the south of the mountain. And here we go. This is what we were looking for, this island over here. And this isn't going to be our main base, but it is going to be our industrial area. There's a few small islands here that I think we can use. We could probably make it look quite cool. We're just going to kind of squeeze in factories as and when we need them. But our main storage area and workshop is going to be on an island just over to this side. So basically this rail here, we need to bring it through the mountain. We need to weave it around here somehow, and then bring it across the ice fields, swoop it down and round, and over to this island eventually. And after that, I believe it's going to carry on this way to someone else's base as well. So yeah, there's going to be lots of rail in this direction, but until I get an extortionate amount of tuff, there's not going to be any train line at all. So I need to pick a spot around here to build our first factory, and I was immediately drawn to this area here. Yeah, I think I like this space, so we're going to need to fill in this hole. We'll just flatten it out, maybe sort of bring it down a couple of levels just to here. And we don't need a huge flattened area, just a small bit here for a factory. Yeah, I think this could work. Well, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's a large enough flat area for us to stick our first factory on, and we'll worry about the rest of the terrain and making it look nice as we develop the area further. But there's one major thing missing before we can start building this factory, and that, of course, is power. And I think to get power over here, we're probably going to use some undersea cables. I'm looking in the wrong direction. It's over in that way. But if we have a look at our map here, we've basically got a massive ocean in between me and the mainland, and the power station is right here. So if we were to bring it overland, just round the back here, then we can drop it into the ocean and bring it all the way over to here. Probably just with a giant shaft, to be perfectly honest. So I guess for the second time today, let's just place loads of power poles and get some more power connected up. Jeez.
Ow. Good morning.
That was terrifying. Hello.
Miss Beardstone.
Yes?
I've got some bad news, bud.
What's that?
I may have made your special area a bit wet.
Oh. Explain? Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, your special area is a bit wet. You didn't put a roof on it, Mr. Beardstone.
There was already a roof on it.
Well, no, because that was just dirt and stone. That's what I've been digging away. You know, just in my little merry world, layer by layer, strip by strip. All that stone, I'll dig that. All that's dirt, I'll dig. Oh dear, Mr. Beardstone special area is all wet.
It looks like you uncovered the entirety of the special area before you noticed, Foxy.
Yeah, well, I was just in a rhythm, you see. I just go in, and I thought, well, it'd be all right. Everything else seems to be working fine, even though it's completely waterlogged.
Well, no worries. I will. I'll get the customer service helpline for you. They generally get back to you within 2 to 4 business days. They'll say they'll turn up, and then they won't turn up, and then you won't be able to get hold of them again. And then when you do call them back, they'll create a new job number, and the whole process starts over again.
Ah, yes, yeah, I've been through that before, yeah.
I will have to sort that then, I guess, won't I, Foxy?
Well, the thing is, Mr. Beardstone, so my next clip is basically me addressing the fact that I've done all of this work to lower the ground down. So basically, Mr. Beardstone, I'm planning on building a boat.
Ooh, a boat?
Yeah, okay. But I want a big boat. And at the moment... Is that why
you moved the island out of the way? Because I noticed that's a bit more vertical than it used to be.
Oh, jeez, my vines. I didn't snip my new... I've been and replaced all of my vines and then didn't snip them. Right. Okay. So...
That sounds like a Foxy that's been in distress about vines.
Jeez. So, yeah, I moved that because it was sinking, as we know, because the water level in the lake is rising, as you quite clearly pointed out.
Yep. That all makes perfect sense. Yep.
Yeah, so I moved it out
logical
of the way.
thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not going to get wet anymore. As a result, what I want to do is make the lake deeper so I can build a big boat, which is going to go through somewhere to meet up with the ocean and then take me eventually to my starter base. No, my not starter base, my main base.
That all sounds wonderful, Foxy.
Well, the problem is, Miss Beardstone, there's 2 problems. Would you like to come down with me to the shoreline?
Yes. Let's do this. Whee!
And these are literally problems of my own making, as you can imagine.
I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less, Foxy.
Obviously, at the moment, because the lake filled up a bit, this water's not at sea level, right?
Right.
Which means it's actually got to somehow go down a couple of layers before I've got it at sea level, so it will match up with the ocean for when eventually I have a boat that I can sail to the ocean.
Right. Okay. Yep.
And that means that if the water's going to go down even further, that means the lake's going to be even shallower.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And that means that my workshop is in the way.
So you need to move your entire workshop.
Yeah. So last time I moved my entire island. This time I'm going to have to move my entire workshop.
I see.
Yeah.
Right. So once your workshop's been moved, let me know. And
because I'll need power connecting again.
I will have to come and reinstall power for you. There will be a call out fee, of course.
Of course, yes. I would imagine nothing less from you, Mr. Beardstone.
Yeah,
nothing less.
It's not me. It's the board of directors. No.
Oh, is it? Is it now? What, Jimmy and friend? What was it, Frank?
Yeah, with the question mark.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, if you let me know when you need it, we'll get you booked in.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Beardy. I'm gonna need a few minutes.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Foxy's getting himself in a right old pickle over there. But the good news is we get to charge a call-out fee for installing more power. And life is power at this stage. Anyway, where was I? I need to get the things for the transformer thingy. Yep, that was it. So far, I have managed to connect the power all the way down to the coastline here. I just want to put in one of those little transformer boxes now. If I put these bits into the box, that should have everything we need to get that built right here. Yep, that looks fairly complete to me. Get that connected up to there. That's all good. Now I'm just going to dig straight down from here, and then we're going to go under the ocean, so we're going to go down quite a way, and then just have a direct line that goes all the way to our island, which means we should land somewhere on this stony shore here. Well, that took a lot longer than I'd hoped, but we do now have power over here. And the good thing is, I don't need to install a meter. And from here, we should be able to power both sides of the island fairly easily, which means next up, I need to get down a foundation for this factory. And I'm going to chuck down a building first, and then just try and squeeze the farm inside, because for some reason, that's the way round I tend to do things. I do find it much easier to design buildings when I don't already have a farm in there, which may mean this won't be the most efficient farm in the world, but that's not really something that bothers me. I'd rather have something that looks really good at the cost of a little bit of efficiency than have a big clunky building just because I wanted a giant farm. That being said, I'm now going to put down a giant foundation. There we go, one foundation as requested, and that should work just fine. Hopefully it's going to be big enough. I mean, that looks similar to the amount of space that I used up in creative, so yeah, let's go with that. Now, for this build, I think I'm going to use diorite as the main block for the walls, so we have a nice light building up here. Just going to mark out a rough size, and I'm thinking maybe a window here, and a couple more blocks. Maybe leave 5 for the doorway. That should be big enough. Then same again this side with a window and then a cornery bit here. And then we'll just bring the walls out to the back here like this. That should be big enough. And I'm going to want the walls at the front here to be double thick, just so I can inset some windows. So maybe something like that. Maybe let's get a couple more bone blocks in just to make it look a little bit more weathered. Yeah, I think this could work, although I do want a block to kind of separate this bit from the above bit. I want to put a nice big arched roof on this, maybe with a glass front. That could look quite cool, but I do need some kind of separator block, and I didn't really bring anything with me for that, but I think I know what I want to use, so let's just head back to storage. And I'm thinking these, the scoria pillars. Let's grab a few more stacks. Now, what I'm thinking is if we stick a row of these on top, that will give it a nice color offset. It's a bit flat, so maybe we should add some of these. Now let's work out a roof line, and I do want this to be glass at the top here. So maybe if we do 1, 1, 2, and then 3. So we want to get a nice arched roof. Maybe something like that. Now we're just going to get a roof line on, and I think I want it sticking out a fair amount here. I'm thinking we'll just go with a deep slate roof here. We will, of course, texture it up and make it look nice, but for now, I just want to see if the colors work. And yeah, I reckon that is going to work, although it looks a bit weird around the front here. Let's see if we can sort out this doorway, maybe get some pillars in. That could look quite cool. First up with the doorway, let's maybe enclose it in a little bit more here. Put a bit of a trim around the door, maybe something like that. And then let's get some pillars in front. And I do like using these millstones for pillars. I think they just look cool. And I think I'm going to want to remove that one there. I'm thinking if we bring those up like that, then can I put angles in? Oh, yeah, that could look cool. Let's stick one on this side bit here as well, see if it's going to work or not. So I'll need to get rid of that, put a chute there, and stick another one there. Okay, this could work. I mean, it could look weird, but it could work. And then I wonder, let me build a little bit out here so I can stand back. Oh, I fell off. How about we stick giant water wheel in here? Is that going to let us? No. Aha, no, I think it's these bits here that are in the way. Yeah, there we go. Let's maybe add a few extra little bits at the top here as if that's connected. And maybe a beam across here as well, just to sort of square off the bottom of the water wheel. Let's see how that looks. Oh, that's quite cool, actually. I like that. Couple of weird shapes there, but I think I approve. Although I wonder, should I do that as well? Yeah, I think I prefer the right-hand side where it's straighter. Do we want to do that one as well, the little side one? No, that looks weird now. But I do like this one being straight, so let's do the same on this side. And we'll get the last pillar in over here. I think I'm just going to add a couple of shafts here in the doorway, just because that's going to break up the entrance a bit more. Yeah, I quite like that. I haven't used the whole platform. I think I want to have a little bit stick out the side here, which may run the whole length. I don't really know. But for a facade, I think that looks pretty good. Now I've just got to do the rest of the building. We're making good progress. I'm almost there, but I've just run out of girders, so we're going to have to run off and get some, which is going to break the time lapse because I'm going to go through the nether. But besides a few missing girders, I think we're looking pretty good. During the day, it's nice and bright in here, which is very nice. In fact, I can also remove this wall here now, just to open up this tiny little side room we've got, which I'm thinking might be a nice area to pump the lava into, and then we can sort of distribute it where we need it. But other than the need for more girders, I think this is looking pretty good. I decided to get rid of a lot of the foundation around the side just to expose the bottom bit, and I think that works quite nicely. We've got sort of lots of darker bits underneath the windows just to show where the grime has run down during the rain. The back here is similar to the front, but just with smaller windows and a blocked off back bit here, because I think that's where I'm going to put my cobble generator, but on the inside. So I didn't really want to have a big window there. And then round the side here, I'm going to put in a door potentially, maybe like here. We could even put in like a double door maybe. And then we're just going to fence off this bit here. I've still got to sort out all the terrain and stuff around it as well, but overall, I'm very pleased with that. I'm just hoping that there's going to be enough space inside there, because I ended up shrinking it down quite a bit from the actual foundation we laid out, and that block is the wrong way round. That makes me sad. There we go, that's better. Oh my day, you scared the life out of me. Oh, how do you even find me? Oh my days.
How'd you get the power over here?
Undersea cables.
Oh. Fancy stuff, fancy stuff. What is this?
This is going to be my first farm. Basically, I need to build a massive, massive, massive tunnel through the mountain, and for that, I need lots and lots of tuff. So I'm making a tuff farm.
Are you gonna sell it?
I think I am now.
You better. You
All
better.
of a sudden. Okay. Yeah, I can sell tuff. That can be a thing.
Yep.
But yeah, I designed a quite an efficient farm on stream. So I've just made a building that I haven't measured out at all, and I'm going to put an inefficient one in here because that's how I roll.
Woo.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the way to do it. I'm actually here about the tunnels. Funny you mention that because I've done a lot of terraforming just now.
Okay.
Just a little bit actually. And I need a tunnel that connects the final little bit of stretch. It's a straight piece of track from the train station to my train line now.
I see. Do you want to borrow a drill bit?
Yeah. Drillbert.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the name.
Oh, it's pretty good, isn't it? It was suggested by so many different people, but yeah.
I would like to borrow.
So you'd like to borrow a drill bit?
Yep.
That can be arranged. However, do you want it to build the same style of tunnels? Because if you do, you're going to need a whole lot of tuff.
What tunnels are you making?
Tuff tunnels.
It sounds like a lot of tuff, Beardy.
It is a lot of tuff. I mean, I know a guy who's going to sell it though.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, you can just disable the deployers for now and not build the tunnel and just.
Oh, and I can just run the drill through.
And you can just run the drill through.
I might do that then. Yeah.
Right. So I need. Okay. We haven't got any girders. In that case, I'm going to need. I don't really have much iron either. Jeez. Right. Well, let's crush down and cook up what we have got, and we're going to need some alloy. And the only reason I'm using this iron is because Stam's iron farm has been out of iron for quite a while. I think it might be broken.
It's Beardstone!
Oh no. I'm just trying to cook up some iron. Oh jeez. Yes, Foxy?
Hello, Mr. Beardstone.
Hello. Should I be concerned is my first question.
That depends how deep your pockets are.
How deep my pockets
Hello, Stam.
Good job, Stam.
Nice.
Good job.
I wanted to be a part of something.
Oh.
So, I have successfully relocated my workshop by... I haven't actually relocated it. I've duplicated it downstairs.
Right.
And thanks to me, rather than the power company, which was busy when I needed it, I've actually fully installed the power myself using your system. And therefore, you should pay me for that and just come and check that I've done it right.
I bet you've hacked the system, haven't you, Foxy?
No, I have not hacked the system. Should we go down there?
Okay. Your elevator's a little bit flooded.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
Oh, the wall
Let's
just
go
suddenly
down
disappeared. Okay.
to the new workshop. Here we go.
This is weird. It looks exactly like the old one.
Yeah, it's weird that, isn't it? Yeah, I'm running off the thing. I put a power token in, pressed the button, and it worked, although your flywheel's not spinning and neither's that chain conveyor, but that speed controller you gave me access to is working fine.
Did you just take a schematic and then put it in down there then?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's basically exactly what I was going to do. So,
Yeah, so I've saved you a job, so therefore I should get paid for my hard work.
Well, actually, I mean, you're still going to get fined for damage to power
But I've
company
replaced
property.
it all with better quality blocks. None of that cheapo power station naff crap that you use. Oh, jeez.
So you haven't put a roof on it or a floor?
Well, no, not yet. Well, look, I'm only. The thing is,
This is a safety hazard for the power workers who need to go down and collect the tokens, you know.
well, somebody should have designed it better then, shouldn't they? And put a roof on a floor on it when they designed it.
I think you'll find they did put a floor on it. It was a stone floor.
No, no, it wasn't.
Cool. So, I mean, from what I can tell, it does seem to be working and doing its thing, and you don't seem to be hacking the system, which is that was the main concern.
Well, there you go then. See, so you owe me money.
No, I don't owe you money.
You do.
You saved yourself some money. That's what happened.
What? You were going to charge me for a new install?
Well, yeah, call-out charges. I mean, technically, you have still called me out.
Oh, no, they're just going straight away, Mr. Beardstone. They're going. My power tokens, I've just put a stack it. Oh, jeez.
Oh, dear.
See, your dodgy power system doesn't work.
It sounds to me like after you install the schematic, it wasn't set up correctly, but that's fine. I can sort that. Just a case of checking some filters.
I need all the tokens back out of there because this is brand new. So
you're missing a timer from here.
Let me go get you a timer. As Mr. Beardstone pretended he knew what he was doing.
But no, you're missing 2 timers.
2 timers, right?
And a redstone torch and a bit of redstone dust.
Right, okay. I'll go get them for you.
That goes across the top like that. That timer is now on in there. There we go. Let's chuck them in. One's gone through. That's what we wanted. Right. I think we're missing another redstone torch down here. I think that's redstone link, and set that to 40 ticks.
Do you know when you've got broadband troubles so bad that you end up with an engineer come round, and the engineer pokes and prods and does exactly what you've already done because you know how to turn things off and on again, and then gets very confused about why he's even a broadband engineer in the first place because he doesn't seem to know anything about broadband engineering.
Mm-hmm.
That's
me.
I'm getting a lot of that going on right now. Well done, Mr. Beardstone. You got there in the end.
I did. Thank you for making that longer and harder than it needed to be, Foxy. Much appreciated. I will send the invoice in the post.
You're very well. Invoice? All of my time you've wasted not knowing what you're doing. I've just supplied you with all that. I'm charging you for parts.
You can try.
You'll receive my invoice.
Well, I think you'll find I've actually already supplied the parts. They're upstairs. You washed them away.
Look, I didn't. It was the water. The water did it.
The water did it. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, cool. Yeah, I'll drop the invoice off soon. Don't worry.
I bet you will, jeez. Okay, well, thanks, Mr. B.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Appreciate that. Bye.
Bye. Right, anyway, where were we? We were trying to make some girders. So I need to flatten a stack of iron, get a whole bunch of girders, and let's get the last bit of this building. Right, finally, the factory building is done. We still need to get some indoor lighting down here, but apart from that, we're looking good. There's one more major thing we're going to need to do over here, though, before we can actually start this factory, and that is to sort out one key ingredient. Lava. Now, we have an infinite lava lake over at the power station, but that's not particularly helpful for us because, well, we're not over at the power station, which means we're going to need to make a brand new lake over here. So I need to get myself a whole bunch of drills, a rope pulley. I need to dig a great big hole below this thing. And I think I am just going to do it directly underneath. I guess means I'm going to need to clear a little bit more space here just so I've got space to work. In fact, thinking about it, I've got a better idea. Because this isn't the only building that's actually going to need lava, so maybe we should actually have a dedicated building that's just for the infinite lava, and then from there we can sort of pump it all out where we need to go, and so on. But I don't want to be making another building today. Ah, creeper! I don't want to be making another building today, however, so maybe I should just pick a location, put the pit on the surface, and then we can worry about making it all look nice another time. Let's get a bird's eye view here. I mean, this is already looking pretty pit-like, but I don't think I want to be draining out the water and then refilling that with lava. I think I want something a bit more purpose-built. So what I might actually do is just put it here, put it next door to the building where we're going to be using it. I think that kind of makes sense. And the pit itself is a 20 by 20 area. Although we could just go deeper and do it 10 by 10 instead. We do a 10 by 10 square and then go down 50 blocks. That'll give us the 10,000 blocks we need. So if we build a drill within this pit here, we're going to need 100 drills and send them straight down 50 blocks. Then we'll have a nice pit. Although if we were to go a little bit bigger, then we can also line the edge of the pit. Maybe we should do that. Which means I'm going to need about 150 drills, give or take. Problem is, that's going to take a whole lot of iron. Let's go see what we can rustle up. Actually, while I think of it, can't I buy drills from Chosen? Does he sell drills? Sure he does. Yeah, there we go. 1 diamond for 16. So we're going to buy loads of drills. I cannot afford this purchase. Oh, I forgot me diamonds. Right, let's get those drills. And I'll tell you what, when it comes to building our factory, we're going to need a bunch of other things as well. But what I might do is actually stock up. We're going to need those, and those. We're going to need a bunch of vaults, maybe some barrels. We'll get some of them anyway, just in case. We might need depots. We're definitely going to need some of these. We're fine for chutes. We're going to need a bunch of millstones. Gearboxes are always handy. Grab some casing as well. This is a big old shopping list. Over to you. Look at that. That's going to save us loads of time. Excellent. So I'm also going to need a rope pulley. Going to need some super glue. And we should probably take a speed controller as well, just so we can do this nice and quickly. Now let's start by getting this drill down. Get that glued together. Oh, missed one. Going to need a bunch of storage. Probably not anywhere near that much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. And we need the rope pulley. And now we just need to get some power over here. And of course, we do have lots of power coming in just over this way, which I do still need to route into this building over here. In fact, I think I might have it come in this corner. So let's just bring this power out this way. Then we're going to crank up the power as we go around this corner, I think. Yep, there we go. Right, so that's got power up here. Now let's just get it over to the lakeside as well. Then if I connect that, there we go. We start drilling. About deep enough. Let's have a little check. So this is Y74 and the bottom is Y8. So yes, there's definitely enough space there. Probably a little bit too much, to be honest. So we can probably bring this up to, say, 15. That'll give us 60 blocks, 10 blocks of clearance at the top. This feels about right. So we'll put in a false floor right about here. Right, that should just about do it. Now what I need to do is actually put some walls around this thing, because I don't want to dig into it from the side. I want to know where the lava actually starts. So we're going to put in a probably deep slate floor and some walls, and then we'll figure out how we're actually going to fill it up. There we go, 1 pit to put lava in, and that's about the level it should come up to, which is a little bit lower than I was expecting, but it'll be fine. At least it'll be fine once we figure out how we're actually going to get lava into it. And we've got a couple of options, really. We could either set up a portal system so that we get it in from the nether and just empty buckets in, but that could be a bit of a pain to sort out, especially considering we have portals on the nether roof not too far away. But there is another option, and that involves giant tanks and contraptions. So if we head back to storage, what I want to do is to make a couple of giant tanks, but we've only got 16 fluid tanks there, and that's not going to be enough at all. Got a whole bunch of copper though, so we can get this cooked up. We can flatten it. We can probably buy a bunch more barrels from Chosen, because I really don't have that many. And then we're just going to stick a giant tank on a contraption. Then we can hook that up to our current lava source, fill up the tank, and empty it at the other end, and we'll just do that a couple of times. It's not going to be the quickest thing in the world, but it's going to be a lot less messy than trying to get into the nether. So over here, I want a whole bunch of barrels, please, Chosen, because I don't have that much wood. Oh, I don't actually have enough space for all of these. Didn't really think that one through. So let's get our copper cooking, and now we need to flatten it, but not all of it. We're going to keep some of it because we're also going to need some pipes and things. We finally have loads of tanks, so now I just need to make a giant one over here. So on looking at the capacity of this one, that is 1,000 buckets, which means I'd need to do this 10 times to fill up that one over there. Let's make this taller. There we go. Now it will hold 2,000 buckets. And let's get that stuck together. Now we'll just do that, and that is 1 giant tank. But I think it makes sense to have 2 of these, because then we can be filling one up while we're emptying another one. And there we go, 2 giant tanks. So now what I need to do is tap into my lava source over here. So I think the best way for me to do this is just going to be to connect to these ones here, but I don't want to set up the contraption indoors because I've made it absolutely massive and it will destroy everything. So let's put a rail here, our contraption, and a cart assembler, which will make it solid. And we'll just pull this pipe all the way over here. No, not like that. That's going to make a right mess. And there we go. That should start filling up our tank. And it's doing it fairly quickly as well, which is good. Then once this one fills up, we'll drop another one down, go over to the other side, and start emptying it out. The good news is, because the power station is in permanently loaded chunks, this will fill up even when we're not here. Our lava has filled up, which is good. So what I need to do now is a bit of that and a bit of that, just so we don't have any leakages. Leakages? Spillages, that's what I meant. So we can pick up the full tank, put down the full tank again. Yep, good job, Beardy. Put down the empty tank. Then that should start filling up that one. Oh, there we go. I destroyed my redstone torch, but other than that, it's working fine. Now we just need to set up a small system to pump out all the lava. I will start by just chucking down the contraption, making sure that's solid. Then we need some pipes going into a hose pulley. I'll tell you what I didn't bring. Didn't bring a hand crank, and we're going to need one of those. Back we go. Right, now we need to lower this fluid hose thingy all the way. Well, actually, no, not all the way down. We need to lower it down to maybe one more than that. Yeah, that looks about right. Then we need a pump there going that way. Cog, gearbox, another gearbox there that needs to be vertical. Like that, and a shaft, and that should start pumping out all the lava. Yep, there we go. And over time, that's gradually going to fill up, which is exactly what we want. We just need to wait for this one to empty, then we can go back and get the other one, swap them over again, and so on. And as long as we stay here, then we should be filling up the other one and emptying this one at the same time. But this is going to take me absolutely forever, and the episode's getting quite long now, so we're going to wrap this one up, but at least that means next time we have everything we need to actually build this tough farm. And then we can put Drillbit to work and build our massive railway to actually connect that up over here as well. That's going to be a big one. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now. Wait a minute, I've done my maths wrong. A 10 by 10 hole that's 50 deep is only 5,000 blocks.